My name is Nicole Scott. I am the CEO and founder of Nicole Scott Inc. So today we're going to be doing a little CEO question and answer video for you guys. So if you follow my Instagram or if you follow the brand Nicole Scott Inc., I posted a Q&A post basically just asking you guys to ask me questions, anything you want to know about me or about the brand. I did not get a lot of responses, to say the least, but I did get a few and I'm going to be happy to answer those few questions. I also decided to just come up with a few more questions of my own just to help fill in the gaps. Questions that I feel like I would want my customers, my consumers, and my viewers to know about me or to know about the company. So yeah, let's get into it. For those of you who are new here, this is my YouTube channel. I haven't posted in a while, but today I am excited to post from a new location. Now I am in New York City. I have gotten a summer internship at a fashion brand called Faraday. I've been here since June 2nd. It's been such a great experience so far. I've learned so much and I absolutely love New York. Like, New York is so freaking crazy. Like, it's beautiful. It's like there's so much to do. It's just like a really fascinating city. But let me tell y'all, it is not what you expect. Not what you see in the movies. It's not what you see on Instagram. Like, it's very much not that. It's not the glamorous Carrie Bradshaw Sex in the City life. It's not that, and I mean that in the realest way possible. Like, I'm just being super honest. New York is dirty. Like, it stinks, and like I feel like everyone kind of says that. It's just wild. Like, the people here are weird. Walking down the street is just like such an experience. I would love to talk more about New York, so if y'all want me to do a separate video just about like what that's been like, I can totally do that. Enough chatting about me or about New York, but let's get into the Q&A. All right, so we're gonna get into our first question. I wrote down all of my questions in this Nicole Scott Inc. Eco Journal. It's just like a great little journal to write notes in, my to-do list, and just, of course, questions for this question and answer video. So you can get it on NicoleScottInc.com. So let's get into the first question. Why did you start Nicole Scott Inc? So I started Nicole Scott Inc for, I guess, a number of reasons. I've always wanted to be a fashion designer. I always took a lot of art classes in high school, and then my sophomore year of high school I began taking sewing lessons. I had a brand prior to Nicole Scott Inc called Unique Styles, and that was my brand when I was in high school. I started it when I was 16. I really wanted to start elevating, and I wanted to kind of rebrand. It's like I wanted to make a brand that like could mean something. So that's why I chose to focus on like sustainability and diversity and just inclusion. I want to kind of be able to inspire other young Black women who want to get into a creative field. And I feel like my brand really stands on being Black owned, sustainability of course, and just like being environmentally friendly. So yeah, like the main thing has really been about like doing what I love and using that to like make a difference and make an impact and be able to showcase my passion. So that's why I started Nicole Scott Inc. Next question, how hard was it to start your brand so young? I mean, yeah, like if I started in 2016 with Unique Styles, then yeah, I was pretty young. But I started Nicole Scott Inc. I was 19 turning 20. I'm very young, so it's really hard. It's I can't even express how difficult it is to be a business owner and a student, and like trying to balance social life, homework, going to class, going to work, like working a part-time job, just like anything, going like out and like going to events. There's just like so much in one person's life, and you know, being a business owner takes up so much time. I think the hardest thing is the mental like wear and tear that it has on my mentality or whatever. It's just like really stressful for me personally. I think it gets so stressful because I love it so much. Something I'm so passionate about, it has the power to get to me. Like, you know, it has the power to give me anxiety and stress me out and like really affect my mental. well-being. Like overall, like being an artist or being creative in any sense, it can be so vulnerable. You know, you're putting out, you know, art. They always say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So when, you know, you're working in fashion, art, or music, like they're just very subjective, and the outcome of whether it's like a hit or a miss is up to the beholder, like up to the consumer, up to whoever decides, you know, whether this is good or not. And I think that that has been the most challenging thing. Aside from that, I definitely think my passion is what drives me. Like my passion is what's made it so seamless or like effortless for me to be able to overcome those challenges. I also think like being a young entrepreneur, being able to be taken seriously, it's really, really hard, especially like I feel like because I'm young. Like it's one thing that I'm a female, it's one thing that I'm black, but my age just really puts such a hindrance on me. And it's hard to be heard and be taken seriously. Like some, you know, 20 something trying to start a clothing brand, a little brand. Like, you know, like when people put little in front of your business, it's that's the hard part, is being taken seriously, for sure. So yeah. Moving on to the next question. So what is the best and worst part about running Nicole Scott Inc? So I feel like I kind of, in the last question, I kind of touched the worst part. So like definitely like being taken seriously and like the mental challenges, that would probably be the worst or the hardest, you know? But the best part about running Nicole Scott Inc, being able to see my growth, being able to like see my development and see like just watch my brand grow and like celebrate each little milestone, whether it's like gaining 100 new followers or like selling 5 orders in a day or just something like that. That's like honestly like one of the best things about it. But I love that my brand can promote like peace, love, kindness, and like happiness and sustainability. Like I'm just happy that I have a platform that can voice that. I really do love that about having my own brand. So yeah. Okay, so what makes Nicole Scott Inc different from other brands? Scott Inc is black women owned. But like, I mean, yeah, there's other brands like that, but I do pride myself on being a black woman designer. Nicole Scott Inc also really focuses on sustainability, which is not, I would say it's more common now, but I would say the brands that we know today aren't built on a sustainable or environmentally friendly values. So I'm proud to say that everything is locally made. I mean, how many, I can't even say, I'm wearing a shirt from Zara right now. You can't even say the shirt that you're wearing right now, you know who made it. Because you don't. Even if it says Calvin Klein, if it says Ralph Lauren, baby, Ralph Lauren did not make your shirt, okay? Like Ralph Lauren honestly, he probably didn't even design it, because he has a design team, okay? And he's got multiple design teams under that design team. So like he probably didn't even design the shirt. His name is just on that label, baby. You know he did not physically sew that garment. You can think that all you want, but he didn't. And with this brand, you know who's making it. It's me right here in the flesh, okay? So everything on my website is handmade, hand sewn by me. And I love that I can say that. So when you shop Nicole Scott Inc, you're shopping local. Everything is made in the US. Everything is made in either Cincinnati, Ohio, or Louisville, Kentucky. I really try to make unique, one-of-a-kind designs that are not your typical, like, super trendy, like, everyday basics, but just like some fun, artsy, creative, one-of-a-kind pieces. So yeah, that's what makes Nicole Scott Inc different. How long do you usually take to go from idea to release? So I will say that takes a while. Like personally, like when I design things for myself or when I design things for a client, like a custom order, that does not take long. Like I could literally, there are things, I have made things in a day. Like I've made things in I've made like a dress in like an hour. Like not an hour. I've made a dress in like a few hours. I've made like a romper in like a few hours. It really just depends. I've made a couple things like really, really fast. It just depends on if I know what I'm doing or if I'm just like freestyling. For Nicole Scott Inc, like for the brand, creating actual like collections or like creating actual like products, that takes a while. Like it's taken some time, and I think mainly because I don't have a lot of time. Like, you know, like I'm so busy with school and work and just life, and like I don't have time to like only focus on my brand. I have to juggle everything. But like my previous collection, the original Unity collection, I began designing like from sketch designing in January of 2021, and I didn't release the collection until October. The reason for that was because it was like a fall collection, and I designed it in January, so I made the pieces like they were heavy materials, heavy fabrics I was working with, so I couldn't release it in the summertime, you know what I mean? So I had to wait until the fall. Into it up to that point, like I was getting my website together. This was my first collection. I had to do a photo shoot. I had to do marketing. I had to get content built for social media. I had to get people to the website, and then I could promote and launch this fall collection. So it takes a while to sum it up. Okay, what are you currently working on? When is your next release? You're trying to get the tea. So currently, I am working on a new collection. If you have been following the Instagram, you may have seen a couple hints. But yeah, the new collection is going to be a continuation of Unity. So it's called Unity Collection 2. And yeah, I'm not going to say too much because I want you guys to want to build it up. I want the anticipation to be there. But yeah, so Unity Collection 2 coming soon. And then when is it going to release? I guess I could give y'all the date if y'all really want to know. It's going to release August 20th, 2022. Anyway, so yeah, save the date, August 20th, 2022. How do you find inspiration for your designs? Inspiration literally through so many things. That's like I feel like as an artist, you can find inspiration from anywhere, literally anywhere. Biggest sources of inspo would definitely be music, like number one. Like there are some genres of music that just really trigger my creativity. Like number one probably being Afrobeat. It puts me in a great mood. I will get you you will just start vibing, and that's what I need. I always need a vibe, and Afrobeats is a vibe. Definitely enjoy pop music. I love a good pop song just because it's feel good music. It's music that genuinely makes me feel alright. And then a good rap song will put me into that mode where I just feel so inspired and I feel so motivated. But yeah, definitely music is a big source of inspiration. The movies, I love movies. I wouldn't say there's any specific movies that have inspired me to create garments, but they do inspire collection ideas. I can always think of a collection idea based off of a concept in a movie. The movies transport you to different worlds, and I feel that's what fashion does. Fashion, creating a collection, you're really creating a fantasy. You're creating a lifestyle. You're creating a world that the consumer can experience. So I feel movies do that for me. Finding inspiration the technical way is through research. That's what they teach us in school, is to research trends, trend forecasting. I feel Pinterest, Instagram, reading fashion magazines, reading mood boards, that's really how I build my inspiration. I would say a lot of my inspiration for the Unity project has kind of transpired out of the year 2020. I mean, the year 2020 was such a crazy experience. I was just so inspired by the state of the world and just how crazy everything was. Being locked down, and just that whole experience really inspired the initial Unity collection and the whole concept behind it. Unity really forecasts a future. It forecasts a world of peace, harmony, love, and basically the opposite of what we are currently literally living in. So I feel I just for this collection, I took what I was going through. I took my personal experience, and I was able to transform it into what I wanted, into a dream, ideal lifestyle. So that's kind of a look into my mind when it comes to the Unity project, and where I got the idea for it, and how I thought it would be a cool concept. So we're down to our last 3 questions. Next one is, do you have any ideas for other prints coming soon? The answer is no, I do not, unfortunately. So if you know, I have a signature like monogram print that has the flower icon, and it's currently on the organic cotton knit, which I love. And I actually just got a new fabric, which is recycled canvas, which I'm excited to kind of play around with and make some products with that material. Prints though, I don't have any like new ideas. I want that print to be used like over and over again until like, just so that it can be easily recognized, you know, just like to gain my brand recognition. Aside from prints, I really do want to get into graphic design a little bit more, so I'm gonna try to get into that more, maybe like next year or towards the end of this year. So does Nicole Scott Inc. have menswear? Okay. Nicole Scott Inc. is a men's and women's fashion brand, okay? I'm gonna say that one more again for everybody in the back that could not hear me. Nicole Scott Inc. is a men's and women's fashion brand, okay? Just because I'm a female designer does not mean that this is a female women's clothing brand, because the brand is called Nicole Scott Inc. or Nicole Scott does not mean that it's only for women. And I really want to stress that as much as I can. I feel like all of my pieces on the website and even my accessories are very unisex. I feel like they're very gender neutral, for men and for women, or for whatever you choose to identify as, and I try to keep it that way because I don't want to seclude myself to women's wear or seclude myself to menswear. The Unity collection is a unisex, gender neutral collection. As far as menswear specifically, I do plan to get more into menswear design. My current internship now is a men's design internship, so I am learning more and more about menswear. They just don't teach us menswear in my design school, something I have to kind of teach myself. So this internship has been a great opportunity to learn more, and I have been learning a lot. So there will be more men's styles, more men's tailored styles to come. Nicole Scott, that's what custom Nicole Scott is for. So any men that want to rock some Nicole Scott and you know, you're not really feeling the genderless styles, but you want something that's like more tailored to you, then that's what custom Nicole Scott is. So we can definitely get together and collaborate. I want to do more menswear pieces, more one-of-one for men. So definitely, if you're a man and you want to collab, if you want to, you know, rock some Nicole Scott Inc., then just hit me up because I'm really down to get more menswear on the site. Very last question. This has been such a good Q&A. I want to thank you guys so much for staying this long. If you have, I didn't realize it would take this long to articulate these answers. But we're almost done. We're at the last question. So the last question: best versus worst garments you've ever sewn. So there's a couple. We can start with the good ones because the bad ones, we can end on a laughing note. Say my favorite piece, like just from the Unity collection, the original Unity collection, the Unity jacket. That is my favorite piece. It's my first jacket that I've ever sewn. The first hooded jacket I ever did. And it turned out really, really cool. I was very pleasantly surprised with how it came out. My second one would probably be the Renaissance jacket, which I know is like another jacket, but like for some reason I really, like, I never knew, but I have this love for designing jackets. Honorable mention, like, okay, hold on. Okay, so then there's like my 21st birthday dress, like the one I did the photo shoot in, but it's like not really that complex. It just turned out nice. And like the gloves, I did the gloves and everything. That was my first time sewing gloves too, which that was cool. There's that. And then honorable mention, junior prom dress, which like the design, okay, no, it's like, it's good. It's like, I wouldn't say it's like my favorite, but like just because like I'm looking back at it, but it took so long to make, and it was like such a crazy experience making that freaking prom dress. And I will probably never make a prom dress. Like after that, like there's no way. Like it took so much energy, so much faith. Like I was up late at night sewing that prom dress. Like, and I started months. Like I started in December. The prom was in April. And I was like really working up until like the very last minute. Like up until like 2 weeks before prom, I was sewing that dress. and it gave me hell. It did. I don't even want to get into it because I'm getting PTSD just thinking about it, but it turned out really freaking good, and I'm proud of myself for doing that. That was such a challenge, but yeah, it turned out decent. Okay, yeah, that's what I would say. Unity jacket, Renaissance, 21st birthday, honorable mention, junior prom. Moving on to the worst designs, or the worst, not designs, worst things I've ever sewn. Literally everything. I'm just playing. No, I'm kidding. I hate, like, sewing is so hard, and like construction, it's like one thing to actually be able to make something, but to make something that is well constructed, whew, child. Like, it's a challenge. It's hard, okay? So first thing, the worst thing I've ever done, that's just off the top of my head, the freaking blazer. So last year I had a virtual sewing class, and we had to make a blazer, tailored blazer, and out of cotton muslin, and it was trash. It was trash. When I tell you it was so bad, it was all, like, I think I threw it away. I may not have thrown it away, but I don't know where it is, and I never want to see it again. But I think I have a picture, only because I had to upload it to Canvas, so I'm gonna check. I hope there's not a picture, but if there is, then I'm gonna it'll be right here. What else? There's so many other sewing projects that I hated in high school and college that turned out awful. Okay, so I just thought of a really bad one. Okay, senior year homecoming dress. Like, worst thing, one of the worst I ever sewed. And on the outside, it doesn't look that bad, but like, when I tell you, making that freaking dress, bro, like, okay, so I started sewing this dress. I had plenty of time to make it, and like, it was an easy sew, right? Like, it was definitely something in my skill set. However, the fabric I bought was a woven, and the pattern I bought, like, to follow was for a knit fabric. So that's where I messed up. But you know, I was a young sewer back then. I didn't know fabric like that. So I followed the pattern exactly, and everything was turning out good. It like was looking nice, right? And then here it is, like the day of homecoming, I had a sewing lesson, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna finish the dress at my sewing lesson. I used to go to sewing lessons every Saturday from 10 to 12. So it was a Saturday, it was 10 to 12. And like, I think maybe halfway through the class, the dress was done, the straps were on, the hem was done. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go try it on. So I went to the bathroom to try it on. Y'all, tell me why the dress didn't fit. And when I say didn't fit, I mean, I couldn't even get the dress over my thighs. Like, and I'm a tiny person. Like, I am like literally 4'11", 98 pounds. Like, and I could not fit the dress over my thighs. Like, it was fully unzipped, and I could not get it over my thighs. I'm like, oh no, it's too small, it's too small, it's too small. And like, I don't know what I was thinking anyways. I guess I just thought that the zipper would be big enough for me to squeeze in there, but no, it wasn't. Here I am, like, oh my gosh, it's the day of homecoming and my dress don't fit, and class is almost over. It's over in like 45 minutes. So I come out and I talk to my instructor. I'm like, it didn't fit. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, it didn't fit. And so I literally had to take the whole dress apart. I mean, the whole dress. I had to seam rip every freaking seam, and I had to literally like add panels, because like, it was too late to like start over. Like, I literally had like 8 hours until the dance. So, and I had to be there early too, because I was a cheerleader, and cheerleaders were like the homecoming committee, and we had to prep everything, and you had to get there early. So I literally had like less than 8 hours to fix this dress, and or else I wouldn't have anything to wear, like literally. So it was a hot mess, long story short. And like, looking back, it looks so bad. I would never like wear that or buy that again, but I learned a lesson. I sure did. But yeah, I had to literally rip that whole dress apart and add more fabric to the side seam. And like, I literally finished like maybe an hour before the dance, and then I just immediately started getting ready. It was crazy. And I guess this one could just be like a funny one. Don't laugh. This one I didn't even really, I did sew. Okay, so I sewed the bodice, but I didn't, the jeans were like, what is it called? Upcycled. The jeans were upcycled and reworked, but y'all, this outfit was a no. Like, it was, okay, let me explain the context. So it's a wearable art piece, okay, and it's made out of hamburger wrappers, like fast food wrapping. And the whole concept of it was just like to play on like fast food and just like unconventional. It was like an unconventional art piece. That's kind of the whole idea behind it. But y'all, this was a hot mess. Like, this was a hot mess express, and I don't know why I thought that was cute or like what I was going for. But I think I was like going for like fast food, fast fashion, like like they're both advertised in like the same kind of way. Like, I don't know what I was going for, but y'all, it's a hot mess. So don't laugh. Actually, you can laugh at this point. Like, looking back, I'm like, girl, what was I thinking? But yeah, it was just called like fast food or something. But yeah, that one was a no. That's my best versus worst ever sewn garments. So yeah, I just really want to thank you guys so much for listening to my Q&A. Definitely stay tuned for more Nicole Scott Inc. content. So thank you guys. See y'all later.